So I'm in Baku, Azerbaijan, just waiting for my tour, which I don't know if it's here. There's a few people hanging around, not really sure what's going on. I had a bit of a palaver at the airport last night. So I booked a driver yesterday because when I'm in a place that I'm unsure of, nowadays what I try and do is book a driver through the hotel. It's easier if I can't get there on public transport. Driver didn't turn up. I was looking around the airport for ages, then I tried looking outside the airport and I had to queue to get back in again. It was just a nightmare. Not many people spoke English, really struggled. So in the end I just got a taxi from the actual airport, which actually cost quite a lot. It cost almost £50. Whereas I think the one that I booked, it should only have been about 30. I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, but I'm at a place called Go Buston, and it's where there's all these cave paintings or cave inscriptions. So originally a lot of these caves were actually caves, they were inside, but as the years have gone by they've actually demolished some of the caves so people can come and see it. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and yeah, some of the paintings go back 25,000 years. So it's amazing. Some of them there's like paintings of, like for example, let's have a look at this one. So this is meant to be a hunter. Over there you can see maybe with like a bow and arrow. So again there's what looks like to be hunters. Over here it looks like cows. There's another one where it's like a hunter, there's a dog there, and some sort of boar, wild boar. One of the warning signs around here is this, snakes. So apparently there's lots of snakes around here and I think they're quite dangerous. So it's only 8 degrees today, the snakes should not be out because they come out in much warmer weather. There are also a lot of cats, actually quite affectionate cats around here. And the reason being is because they like the snakes and they eat the snakes. So I'm at a place called Mud Volcanoes National Park. It's very windy here, but there's gas under the ground which causes the mud volcanoes to erupt. And as far as I know, it's cold. It's not hot. It's not like in Iceland. So I've had a bit of a rest because I was knackered, absolutely knackered, from not getting here till like 5 AM and having the morning tour a few hours after that. So I just needed to get a bit of rest. So I've got a little bit of rest, still a bit tired. And it's about an hour and a half until sunset. So I'm going to explore the old town and see what it's like. So this is the Maiden Tower. I believe it's possible to climb the Maiden Tower. I don't know if I've got to pay entrance or if I can just walk in and climb it. So I think I'm going to have a look. So I had to buy a ticket. It was probably about £7. And it's a bit of a museum in here as well. So it says that people aren't entirely sure what the Maiden Tower was designed for. It's assumed it was a defensive tower, but it lacked a lot of characteristics of a typical defensive tower. I've made it to the top of the Maiden Tower. Nice view of the city. The flame towers are over there. It isn't as foggy now as it was earlier, thankfully. So at night time they will be lit up. So I'm going to try and find a nice viewpoint to see them a bit later on. There's also their kind of version of Sydney Opera House, but it's not actually an opera house, I don't think. I think it's like some sort of big centre. I should really double check what that is. But I will hopefully get a bit closer to that shortly. But yeah, it's quite a nice view of the city from up here. So in this street here, there's this really cool workshop. There's a guy who's an artist, but what he's done to the outside of the building is awesome.
Looking people around here, happiness isn't near. They smile in the corner, you should see the owner. The owner.
He's also painted this tree over here, which is just outside the workshop. But yeah, I just think it's really beautiful what he's done. Right, so I'm just walking along the promenade and I'm heading towards Little Venice. In the distance is this Sydney Opera House lookalike, which is actually a giant shopping mall. This is Little Venice, which looks pretty cool. I just saw a little gondola go along. So I could probably pay to go on the gondola, and it would probably be cheaper to get one here than in the actual real Venice. And that strange patterned building in the distance, that is the carpet museum. So all different types of carpets. It could be interesting, although the last time I went to a carpet museum, it wasn't a carpet museum, it was a carpet shop in Istanbul where they tried to sell me a carpet. I've made it to the top of Highlands Park. It's really windy up here. It took a bit longer to get up here than I thought it would. The flame towers are over there. Still got a bit of time to wait until it gets dark, until it lights up. But I think I'll sit around here for a bit and wait for the sunset. So this park is a lot bigger than I realised, and I think there's some other beautiful viewpoints by walking a bit further along. Baku has actually surprised me a little bit. I think when I first got here I wasn't overly impressed. The traffic just seemed chaotic. I wasn't impressed that my driver didn't turn up at the airport yesterday. The tour today was okay. The cave paintings or the cave inscriptions was really interesting to see. Odd volcanoes were a bit disappointing. I'd like to have seen a few more of them erupting. And they can properly erupt. They can absolutely cover you in mud if they have enough force behind them. Definitely 2 days is not enough time to see the city, but I'm going to have to cram in what I can tomorrow before I get my flight back to the UK.
Why this dream in my brain, in this happy city, happy city, yeah. Happy city, happy city, yeah. And I'm wondering again, why this dream in my brain, in this happy city, happy city.
So I've just come to the Heydar Aliyev Centre, which is some kind of cultural centre. I'm not too sure what's inside. I don't know if I can go inside, but I know that it is possible to climb onto the roof. However, whether or not I can do that without going inside or without a ticket, I don't know yet. So maybe I've got it wrong. Maybe I can't go onto the roof. This is too steep to climb. I've definitely seen photos of people climbing the roof. So it's such a gloomy day today. Still very windy as well. So I think this place would look so much nicer in the summer months when the sun's shining. I think, as with much of the city, I think it'll be a completely different vibe in the summer. Typical. The sun has finally come out when I haven't got a lot of time left to explore Baku. But this is something I came across earlier, and it's the head of Aliga Mamadgulu Iskandarov. He was a writer, a famous author from Baku. So I still have some time to kill, so I've come back to the Palace of Shervan Shahs and I've bought a ticket to explore the inside, see what it's like. So it's basically just a museum talking about the history of the Shahs that used to live here in this palace. It's probably interesting for a lot of people. The architecture is very impressive, but it's only quite a small museum, so not too much to see in here. So I just paid for the ticket for the museum. It was about £7–8. But there's a whole complex here that I can explore, and I don't think I needed a ticket to explore that. This is more my thing, exploring ancient tombs and ancient... Well, it's meant to be a tomb, I think, down there. So I don't know if I'm allowed to go down there or not, but there are stairs, so I assume I can. This is the ancient tomb of somebody I didn't read the information about outside. Right, so that was the tomb of Sayyid Yahya Bakuvi, and he was the scientist that used to be part of the royal court. A bit of a bigger tomb this time, which is a tomb of the Shervan Shahs, whose palace this is meant to be. As you can see, there's quite a few different sized tombs as well, which could suggest that some of them died very young. And this used to be the bathhouse. So there is quite a bit to see here, actually. A lot more than I thought when I first entered the inside area. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking this out, I think. But I think that's it now. I think I need to start thinking about heading back to the airport to get my flight home. Baku's been good. Haven't had enough time here. I knew it was going to be a struggle. I didn't get to see a couple of different mosques that I wanted to try and see, and there's a lot of other temples that were a bit further out that I could have done on the tour that I was on yesterday, but I decided to take the half-day tour instead. And to be honest, I was so tired yesterday, I don't think I would have been able to do anything else. So I do feel like I've seen most of the old city, which is good, and I got to see the flame towers, but there's a lot I did not get to see.